Well, first to begin, we are delighted to be in such a prestigious competition. Obviously, we haven't done particular great in terms of advancing out the group stage. So that's something that we will try to improve on. But I'm very excited, just not by myself, but the whole country and the team. We're excited to be in, as I said, such a wonderful competition and looking forward to it in the middle of June.
Thank you very much, Coach. So we're going to start now with the questions from some of my fellow media members. We'll start it off with Ricardo Placid. Ricardo Placid, go ahead, please. Thank you.
Yes. What do you think about the Haitian national team? I know there's before we used to play, you play with the Haiti, I think as a player. Or what idea you have of this team right now?
Well, first to begin with, we will always respect every team that is participating. It doesn't matter what country that you came from. So we are in a very high-profile tournament, and we give respect to every opposition. We haven't played Haiti in some time, and we will do our due diligence and our work on them when it's that game time, when the team is gathered. When the team is gathered fully. At the moment, we are not, and until that moment comes, then we will start to focus in on the opposition that we're going to be facing. Well, as a backroom staff, and what we are doing is continue to check and try to figure out with the sports analysts some of the danger that Haiti will create, and we'll get to see them before we meet them, so we'll have a clearer understanding. But it's too early to really sort of iron out what we think of Haiti until we get to see the new formation and what they play and how the style of play and the philosophy that they bring to the team. So we'll take one step at a time. Of course, we have America first, so we will our main aim and focus will be on America before we then turn our attention to Haiti.
Giassi Merrique, please. Giassi Merrique is up next.
Good afternoon, all. And Coach Dwight, my question would be to you. You mentioned that we played the U.S. first. What do you think about the overall draw in this competition? And sort of ballparking, what is I guess, I know you say you want to move out of the group stage. That is mission number one. But what is the sort of ballpark accomplishment that you want to achieve?
Well, listen, we have played in this competition various numbers of time, and we haven't really done great since, I think was the last time we done out of the group stage was in 2000. So that's something that we will try to improve on. Ultimately, is to gain some experience. We have obviously two important games that are coming up in the World Cup qualifier to make sure that we advance into those into the knockout stage of the World Cup qualifier. So we got some work to do, but here, listen, we want to advance as much as every other team that is in the group there, and we know that being in such a prestigious group, it's a high-profile group with America being host. We know what they're going to bring to the table. Of course, they got a high-profile manager as well, so we understand it's a country that we play against on numerous times, and I think there is a new regimes of players that may surprise one or two people when we come together. So that's the main aim in the competition, is to try and progress through that group stage.
Thank you, Coach. John Arnold, please. John Arnold.
Hi, Dwight. John Arnold here. Thanks for taking some time with us today. You're mentioning step by step, and I know that you've got World Cup qualification before the Gold Cup, the Unity Cup in there, as well as preparation matches. But as you look at what not only you've been able to put on the team tactically, but I know getting the business community excited, getting people just in Trinidad and Tobago excited about the national team again. How far have you come since, I believe, the December debut you had just a couple months ago, and what do you like about the path that the team is on?
Well, first to begin with, I think that what we get to understand by taking the job is to give every opportunity to see what Angus, the previous manager, built on. And of course, Kingy with the interim manager, also, we take all that into consideration when we're taking over the job. And to have an assessment of the talent, what is on show, get to a process where we can get to see every player, invite every player, past and present, and there were other players that wasn't called up to the national team. So we took this period of time to really do our due diligence in terms of do our research to where the players are concerned. And so by doing that in the last few months, allow us to have a good look at the pool of. I think now that we are in a position, we felt after the 4 or 5 months that I've been installed as the head coach, we have had a good look at the players. So what you're going to see coming into this new tournament or the tournament in June, it's a new nucleus of players. I'm not saying the old players that were there. There are 1 or 2 players, of course, that the public will be familiarized, but there will be some players in there that you never heard of before, and I think that's the key. We are trying to introduce the new era of Trinidad and Tobago football, and that's part of my job to give these guys. But we're going in there. We have made decent progress, but there is still a lot of work to be done, and every player knows what my ideas and philosophy are and the expectation. And so we are continue to trend and continue to build on, of course, what the previous manager have done. And that's what we're going to try and implement into the tournament.
Danny Schwartzman, you're up next. Danny Schwartzman, go ahead.
Gracias, Alex. Hey, Dwight. For those that we don't know much about Trinidad and Tobago national team, how could you describe your team, the personality, and the style of play?
Well, I think that we have built a team now where we can compete. I think that's one of the most important things, that we are ready to compete. In terms of playing philosophy, I think like every other manager, they always want to play on the front foot. But we have to know our limitation and what we can do and produce. We are tactically a much better team, more aware of opposition, and not always been able to play in position. We have always been a team that could play in position quite exceptionally, but we are a team that when we out of position, we're not quite sure how to do that. That's something that we have improved on, and you will find that as we progress. But certainly, I mean, it's an exciting time for us. And, of course, the Americans is home advantage as well as one of the favorites. They have won the tournament multiple times, so we know what America produced. But I think, as every other team in there, if they're going to take the eye off the ball, we are ready to pounce and ready to show that we can compete with them at a very high standard. And that is what I'm expecting of my team. We play with a lot of passion. We play with desire. We play with organization. We play with understanding at international level when you come together that you have to bring your A game, and there's no time to sort of develop as a team. As we all know, club football and international football is totally different. So when you get together, we have a limited time to put these pieces together. So players have to really focus in on what we try to do. They understand that. They understand, me as an individual, what I bring, and there is no excuses for the way we go about doing our jobs and work ethic. Those are the principles that will then make up what you call part of my philosophy as well.
Last question for Coach Yorke. Nee Wallace-Bruce, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for your time, Dwight. Nee Wallace-Bruce. Dwight, you spent quite a bit of time playing in Asia via Australia and also as a manager. How important will that experience be when you come up against an Asian opponent in Saudi Arabia in the Gold Cup?
Yeah, well, listen, I think the experience I've gained as a player over the years gives me a clear understanding that, these teams have not only improved over the years, certainly in my playing days, that you can see a massive difference. I'm not so sure you're going to see so much difference. Saudi Arabia, as you mentioned, is a team that is obviously done well in bits in the World Cup. We know that they're a high-ranking team. We know that they have changed manager in recent time. But they're a phenomenal team, and we have to be at our absolute best to overcome a team like Saudi Arabia. They are more advanced in many respects. They've got a really competitive league that I know extremely well with all the ex-players that are playing in it. So we know that we have our work cut out. We are clearly the underdogs going into this tournament, as certainly in that group stage, with America and Saudi certainly ahead of us. we feel that we have a really good chance in this competition, and Saudi will be one of the opposition that we have to overcome if we were to advance. But we respect every opposition, whether you're from Saudi or Asia or North America. In this instance, we will do our utmost best and our due diligence when it comes to these opposition, trying to study and see the playing style, and hopefully that we can be able to match them in every aspect of it. But ultimately, it's about results, and hopefully we can get the results that will then help us to progress through to the next round.
Thank you very much. We